She's a larger-than-life personality with over 1 million followers on TikTok. We're catching up with Hannah Dasher next. This episode of Connected with Kelly is sponsored by Pickers Vodka, proudly made in Nashville, Tennessee. So Pickers is a tribute to the musicians whose sounds fill the air in Music City. Pickers Vodka is distilled 11 times from non-GMO corn, and it's gluten-free. My new favorite is the Pickers Unplugged Vodka Soda. They're in cans. They are only 96 calories, 0 carbs, great flavors. You need to give them a try. Visit pickersvodka.com to find out more or to order online.
Hey, I probably shouldn't show you all this, but no, you pervert! It's a new song!
Welcome to this edition of Connected with Kelly, and today we're talking with Hannah Dasher. She is on TikTok with her Stand By Your Pan series. It's hysterical, it's cooking and country music, and let me tell you something, you are going to fall in love with her. If you haven't met her, well, buckle up, because she is something else. I can't wait for you to get connected with Hannah Dasher. Miss Hannah Dasher, how are you?
Hey, fat and sassy mama.
Listen, I love seeing you. I love talking to you, and I love all of the good things that have been happening for you. So last time we chatted, it was in January, and there's been a whole lot of life that's happened since then. Fill me in, girl.
Yes, girl. Well, we are geared up to put out the half record. I think the industry calls it an EP, but it doesn't sound big enough to me because I'm kind of a go big or go home kind of girl. You know that. Anyhow, but been gearing up to release the half record and got a variety of music on that. I'm excited to present to the world, and we passed 1 million followers on TikTok. That was fun, and filming a lot with the Circle Network, and I'm playing with the Opry a little bit, doing a few shows there, and gearing up for country concert in a few weeks in Fort Laramie, Ohio. So one of my heroes headlines. I'm looking forward to it.
You know, you're saying all these things and you're dropping them because they're happening and they're in your calendar. You know that they're coming up. But if you would have had that list in front of you 5 years ago, 6 years ago, your mind would be blown.
Absolutely. That's a great statement, and it keeps you grateful.
When you were here and you were working on everything and really starting to get some traction, what was the prize? They always say, keep your eye on the prize. What was your prize? What was the big thing that you were hoping at the top of your dream board was going to come true?
Well, it took a little time to mature into the version of me that really, really appreciates it. But the prize for me has been just the positive feedback from the fans. I try to read all my comments on social media, and I try to meet everybody after a show while I can. Like I go to the meet and greet line, or I go to the merch line, and I try to, and just the feedback is really what's made it all worth it for me. And I mean, who knew that it's just, I'm a part of something so much bigger than me, if it's my TikTok recipes or the songs that I'm putting out, but it's, my job is just to lead people in a better place. And I want to keep doing that, and taking them away and escape for 3 minutes in song or 50 seconds in a funny video.
Looking at what's been happening on TikTok, had you any inclination when you started that was going to be the next big platform?
Heavens no. Well, my manager at the time, and dear friend Johnny, signed me up for TikTok and really encouraged me to start navigating the app. And he had a hunch it was going to be the next big thing, and he told me that it was. And it took me a little over a year to figure out how to work the damn thing, Kelly. So because I was, it took a minute, but and my videos last summer, it took me probably 3 hours to make a video that now only takes me an hour and a half to 2 hours. So it's been a learning progress. But no, I had no idea that it would take off the way that it had, and that it would be such a great platform for creators like me.
I remember talking to you and having you cook for us and then jump over and sing on the stage when we were doing Today in Nashville. That was in the early, like the very, very beginning stages of, I don't even think you were calling it Stand By Your Pan yet, were you?
I think I was. Well, no, what was I doing? That was in 2019, probably. That was my first time cooking, I guess, on a television show. So I was obviously wet behind the ears. I'm hoping I can do a makeover. That was a lot of fun though. But yeah, that was, when was that? 3 years ago now?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I had the idea for Stand By Your Pan for probably 6 or 7 years now, maybe 8 years now. But quarantine just presented the perfect time to kick it off and try to dive into it.
When you are doing these videos, what comes first? Do you think of the inspiration of a song and then, oh, this would go great with it and I'm going to cook this? Or is it, I love this recipe and then I'll figure out a song that kind of goes along with it?
Yes and no. It's honestly, for me, I don't like to stop entertaining. So whatever holds the attention of the viewer or the listener, that's what I go for. So if it's me shaking my biscuits or singing my biscuits bring all the boys to the yard, whatever holds your attention, and I carry that over into the songwriting room. I mean, I'm a lyric junkie, and first I'm a huge fan for opening lines, and so first verses were very important to me because I really want to hold the listener's attention. I mean, because you're driving to work with a grocery list on your mind, or you got whiny kids in the back that you're trying to make behave, hopefully, you know what I mean? So I have a big job, but the bar is high, I guess, for me. And I try to apply that even to my little TikTok videos. My manager would say that I'm a little bit over the top when it comes to my creative quality, if you will. But hey, I'm me and I'm my brand, you know?
Well, here's something that I definitely want to dive into, because you and I both worship at the altar of Dolly Parton. And we know that, you know, there's a whole lot of hairspray and a whole lot of everything else holding that together. But we also know and recognize how she is such a smart businesswoman. Dolly has always been a smart businesswoman. And I see that in what you're doing. It is creating content, but you are doing it with a very calculated purpose. You're very smart about what you're doing and building your brand. I want you to talk about that. Have you always had that area of an entrepreneurial business mind?
Well, I'm not a one-dimensional person, and it's really hard to cram me or all this into one little lane. And there's a lot that I want to do. I mean, Kelly, I want to be in Hollywood. I want to be a representative of our genre one day. And so whatever outlet that I can take advantage of that breaks me first, I'm gonna try to put some eggs into those baskets, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So I mean, I love to sing. I am a songwriter, and I'm an entertainer. Like that's my diehard number one. But I can cook. So why not showcase parts of my personality and take advantage of platforms like that?
Tell me about what's going on behind you, because I love your decor. I love the house. I need the story. I mean, I know it personally, but I don't think everybody else does. So give me some more details about the house and all the decor.
It's messed right now. I've got I've got Elvis everywhere. He's kind of my man. But and my velvet Elvis is over here. I live in a little historic cove, I'll just say, and I'm in one of the guest houses that it's a guest house to the big house where like Waylon Jennings lived, and Charlie Daniels. And Waylon was here in 76 to 77 when he was making this record. You see the Outlaw?
Yeah.
That's the record that broke him. Anyhow, my house is full of little pieces of country music history. Like that was hanging in Waylon and Jesse Kelker's office. So that's great. It's just an ugly old picture, but I love it. It's earthy, and it's my buddy JR Handler gave that to me. But I've got grandmother's furniture that I've just made work, and because I didn't have to buy it. And yes, girl, I've just got little pieces of history. I got music. I got all my amps and my guitars thrown everywhere. Fender's been giving me guitars left and right. I'm so thankful for that. So, but my kitchen, my house, I wanted to recreate Nashville 1960s, 1970s, just kind of honky tonk rock and roll. But my kitchen is an homage to my grandmother's. Because I mean, you grow up cooking with most people kind of grow up cooking with their grandparents on the weekends and whatnot. And believe it or not, I didn't realize that would take off or hit like it did on TikTok. People, it's the nostalgia. It's like that they're coming back because it reminds them of, they see these old canisters and they're like, oh my God, my grandmama had those. Can you see all that stuff?
My mom had those and they were yellow. They were the yellow. Remember the yellow color? It wasn't bright yellow. It was that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love a set of those. If you run across any, keep me in mind.
I know.
But everything I cook with is retro and everything I use is retro. And there's my inspo right there.
I love it. Look at that.
George and Ted, he's holding grape soda. But anyway, there's a little, yes, girl, I've got more.
I love it.
I got silver.
You know what? This is what I love about it. You are unashamed of all of the wonderful things that make you unique and quirky and different. But I have to imagine, in coming to Nashville, were you ever tempted to tamper all of that down and try to fit into the mold that they were trying to push everybody into?
No, and I believe that's one of the reasons I've been here 11 years. I knew that what I did and what I loved would find its way, but I just knew that time had to kind of open up for that to come back. I hate to say come back, but they're arguably my stuff is rooted traditionally, but there is a fresh, it's kind of retro fresh, I guess you could say. There's a lot of retro, I don't know, 90s country to my sound and like 70s Skinner rock and roll. But then there's just this element that you can't really put your finger on. And I believe that's just me. Either way, I just knew that I had to kind of stick to my ground, and do what I loved, because that's what's the most believable. And I think people are smarter than we give them credit for, and they can kind of see through the bullshit,
You know it. Absolutely. You know it. What makes a good TikTok video? I know now you've been doing it for a minute, 1 million followers. That's incredible. Congratulations. So what makes a good TikTok video? How do we follow a formula that you've set out?
Ooh, well, on the food world, I can tell you more so about capture the food audience, but like I said earlier, just something that's outrageous or attention getting. People love train wrecks. They also love like cheese, straight like macaroni and cheese or pizza or just like whatever, like call it food porn. Can I say that?
Sure.
Things like that. But then again, I've had some videos react, Kelly, that I didn't know would react. And I don't know if they're just buying into me. I don't know. I really can't say. I just think it's just got to be to the point and hold your attention. You wouldn't know that because I'm just rambling on right now. I'm sorry. I had coffee that had caffeine in it. And I try not to take caffeine because I'm so sensitive to it. So I apologize. I'm not on cocaine. I promise I can't afford it.
I love it. Listen, I love everything that you're talking about, and I love hanging out with you, and I love your personality. When you're writing, how do you approach writing? You said that first line is really important to you. Do you just have a whole notebook of first lines or of song titles, and then you start to build on those, or what is your approach?
I wish there is usually if I don't have a title, I depend on my co-writer in the room. Like, for instance, with Left Right, Brandon, my producer, brought in, he had that title. And when it comes to me, it usually comes at the same spot. It's like the left side of heaven, and the melody falls right out with it. I can't explain it because I think it's a God thing. It's beyond me. But like with that song, for instance, the opening line of the chorus and the last line of the chorus just fell right out, like, quick going left, right, on it. And I was like, what are you going left, right on? And then I was just thinking about Beyonce and Roger Miller. I channeled those two people, the beauty of ADD, and out fell, if you want it, you better put a ring on her left, right now. And when Barb was in the room, and he loved it. And so we just chased it down and had a great day.
You know what? I love the fact that you say that it's falling out of the sky and into your lap, because I feel like there are a lot of songwriters that, relate to that. They say that it just comes to them. They can't figure it out. It just happens. When that starts to channel into you, like, are you always in the same place, or is there something like, do you have a routine that sets you up so that you feel like you're wide open for that?
Well, those are the easy days. Most often you really have to work for it. But I try to be equally yoked in the room, or I try to write up, if you will. I don't like being the coolest kid in the room, and I try not to be. That's a place that I had to kind of earn, if you will, here in town. You got to prove yourself a little bit in order to get into those rooms. But I'm so thankful to write with some of the people that I do, because a lot of times I'm there to learn from them. But I like to be in a cool space. Has to be vibey. I usually keep sage around it if I need it. On the weekends when I'm turning my brain off or trying to, I like to listen to great music with friends, and I'm a little bit of a hippie, so you can imagine what there. But usually when I just allow myself to relax, the ideas will come.
That is interesting. I wonder, I've asked a lot of people this, and I think that I'm starting to formulate my own opinion about it. I don't know if it's going to be, a big study that I do and I release it in a couple years, a scientific study on Nashville. But everybody that I've talked to that said they stopped white knuckling their career. They stopped holding on so tight to what they thought they wanted, or chasing it down so hard, or going after it at a breakneck speed. When they don't do that, when they release a little bit, that's when things really start to happen and start to flow. Would you say that that's the same for your career?
I think absolutely. I think I had to pull my head out of my behind and just get to a better place spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally. I had to just recharge myself, and quarantine was really great for that this past year. But I think that once you realize, like I said earlier, that this is like what we're doing, I had to realize that it wasn't about me, that it's about something just so much bigger, entertaining people and putting them in a better place and helping them escape from all the chaos and life and stress, and just giving them 3 minutes of bliss.
Now that you're seeing all of this happen, like now you're getting ready to release this EP, and you do have this opportunity. What's on the dream board? Like, what else is happening in the future? You mentioned Hollywood. Like, what's the dream 3-4 years from now? Where do you want to be?
I love it. Well, I didn't make the cut for that Sturgill Simpson, Jason Isbell Western movie they're filming, but I definitely want to be in a Western, and I'd love to be the romantic partner with Scott Eastwood, or maybe even a Matt McConaughey. But if we're just saying, but the 5 to 6 year scope, I'd love to play. There's some arenas that I want to play. I mean, Red Rocks, Madison Square Garden. I mean, I would love to be playing with my heroes and headlining some big shows. I mean, why not sell out stadiums? That's really, really far fetched, but I believe that it's before the Lord comes back, I'd like to try.
Listen, you are on the right path. You've got it all in your sights. You're setting it forward. What's one thing about being TikTok famous that you're really enjoying?
What I'm trying to enjoy and not take for granted is I can't go into the Home Depot without taking a picture with somebody. It's wild, Kelly. And so I try, and people are like, I don't want to bother you. I'm like, you're not bothering me. It's fine. We can get a picture. It's okay. But I mean, that's just one of the things that I hope I don't get tired of. Or I used to hear stories about Taylor Swift standing in line for hours to sign autographs. And I thought, you know what? That's how you do it.
Right. Absolutely.
I think people appreciate that.
Who have you been writing with that you really love? Like, throw out some names of people that have inspired you. You said Win, which, I mean, top of the mountain right there. Yeah.
He's darling. I love writing with Casey Beathard and Neil Mason of drummer for Cadillac 3. We wrote Stone Days together in 1990s Heartbreak. We've written a lot of songs together, but love writing with him. I have lately, 4 for 4 with Jeremy Spillman and Steve Moakler. We have kind of a thing, and I cannot wait for you to hear some of the stuff that we've been writing together as well, because a few of those will definitely be on the final project, or excuse me, the whole record. But the half record's coming July the 9th.
Half record, whole record. I love it all. That's amazing. That is amazing. So, I also want to put this out there because I can imagine, just being in and around the industry as long as I have, I know that I've heard people give advice to new artists or to newer artists or people that are trying that path. Hey, find your lane and stick with it. And when you started doing cooking and singing, did you ever have people that were trying to steer you away from doing the cooking part of it? Like you're mixing your message, it's going to just kind of overshadow your talent of singing. I mean, did you ever get that advice?
The label urged me to start incorporating more of my music, and looking back, I would have, well, granted, let's consider that Stand By Your Pan is country music infused with cooking. I sing that twice on everything. Stand by your pan. So they know that I can sing from the get-go. Right. And then I end it with that too. But I wish that I would have built the cooking audience up a little bigger as that was growing, and then started leaking my music. But once we started leaking some music, I mean, the followers did grow. I just don't know what was a result of what, but that answer your question.
Yeah. Are you going to take this? Is this going to be a full-blown show on Circle?
Oh, heavens. We filmed several episodes. I feel kind of like Stapleton must have felt with the Steel Drivers. That Blue, it was just a side project, something that was just for fun for him. And the Johnson Brothers is what he was chasing down, and Steel Drivers, his bluegrass side project really blew up on him, So I will pursue whatever avenue gets me there first, if that makes sense. Yeah. I just think that TikTok has given me something to build upon, that platform, the cooking thing. I mean, I love TV. I love the camera. You wouldn't know it. I look like a spray tan floozy right now, but I whatever gets me there first. There's more to me than my music, and I love my music, but there's definitely more to me in this package than just the song. So whatever gets me there.
What is your favorite throwback song? I mean, when you're sitting around, if you're thinking about a song that you just want to put on that makes you feel really good, what's a good throwback song from you?
Ooh, it depends on the mood that I'm in. Obviously, Leonard Skinner is my favorite rock and roll band, but my favorite country music song, I guess one of my favorite country music songs is "I'm Over You" by Keith Whitley. And Tim Nichols, is a writer on that song, and I'm tickled to death to have a song with him on this half record. "Leave This Bar" is actually one he brought that idea in, and God sent that melody out of heaven, and it just married itself, and it made the record. It's a little edgier, I guess you could say. I wouldn't say edgier. It's kind of pushing my normal boundaries, but I don't want my music to have boundaries anyway. So I'm really excited for folks to hear that. And I think it's going to help me reach, a bigger audience. I've teased it on TikTok some, and they love it. And they're really loving the honky tonk stuff too. You're going to love me, and they're really loving those songs.
So one of the things that we like to do is called like Cuts Deepest. So it's either 5 songs. Usually we do songs because it's easier. And you can use some of the ones you've already said, but 5 songs that, if you were thinking about 5 songs that made you into the artist that you are, these would have to be in that playlist somewhere. They can be your favorites. They can be the stuff that your mom and dad were listening to. They can be, the first song that you heard when you rolled into town in Nashville. But if you have 5 and a little explanation, that would be really cool. If you don't, it's fine too.
No, for sure. Well, we'll count "I'm Over You" as one of those.
Okay.
I'd have to say "Eastbound and Down," Jerry Reed. And his Amos Moses, Pretty Little Wife Named Hannah. Just that whole, I'm obsessed with Smokey and the Bandit in that era. Burt Reynolds looked like, I guess young Burt Reynolds looked like a young version of my daddy. Daddy's a lot taller than him, but I was taken by that movie as a kid, and I just longed for that kind of America because I didn't get to experience it, so I just created it myself. But I'd say "Eastbound and Down." which, by the way, I'm excited for y'all to see the new merch we got coming out. It pays homage to my smoky side. Gosh, Skinner. I mean, Freebird gives me chills. I'm going to have it played live at my funeral. All my buddies, my talented musician buddies, Charlie Worsham, Party's band, all those guys, Jared and all those Cadillac 3, they've already been made aware. You're playing this in my gravesite. But I'd say Freebird, I just, like when I discovered boys in high school, I discovered their music. Or when I say discovered boys, when I became a teenager and I got into boys, so I just, rock and roll it just does something. It just makes me come alive. I freaking love it. I can't not have it in my life. So Skinner. And then let's go with Aretha Franklin, either her gospel record, Amazing Grace gospel record, or Baby I Love You. But Aretha is, gosh, she's the queen. If I could sound like anybody I want to, I'd sing like that. And the way that she took care of her voice, and like she didn't drink, and she honored God at all of her shows. I just think that's a hell of a way to go out, Mm-hmm. And the fifth one, oh, heavens, could it be like a song that I wish I'd written, or no. It's got to be All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight. Hank Jr. He is my favorite entertainer of all time. Call me a redneck, I reckon that I am. But I mean, if for those of you who are listening or watching, if you have a chance to go see Hank play, please do. He'll play the piano with his butt. He plays fiddle. He plays rock and roll guitar. He'll play Waylon's old guitar, and just his voice is larger than life, and his songs are so well written. And you'll hear, oh my God, I heard that song forever. Or you'll never be bored.
Love it. I love all of it. Okay. Favorite recipe that you are making currently, like something that you just hit upon that you were like, this is key and I love it, and everybody needs to make this.
Oh, let me think. Well, I get the most requests probably for my cream cheese pound cakes. I can make them blindfolded, I guess you could say. But it's, probably the cream cheese pound cake. Oh, I don't know though. I've gotten a lot of requests for my barbecue rub. That recipe will be in the cookbook. That's a 2022 endeavor.
Okay, just drop that little sprinkle right there with the cookbook. That's awesome.
Well, I have to, Mom. My gosh, I can't not. I feel like I left a song out. That was 5. Eric Church is also a huge influence of mine that I don't give him enough credit. But as far as a songwriter goes, he's probably influenced me the most. He is my favorite.
I love him. I absolutely love him. All right. So where can I get the pound cake recipe? Where is this? I need to make it. Girl,
yes, I will. I can shoot it to you, or just, I think I'm wearing a yellow plaid shirt in that video. It went viral on Tik Tok. And I believe it's on Instagram too, but either way, we can just email it over to you.
Love it. I love it. Listen, I am so tickled. You are amazing. I love hanging out with you. I'm going to start, I'm on TikTok, but I haven't done anything, but now you've inspired me. So I got to start making TikTok videos, right?
You should. My gosh, with a face like that and a speaking voice like that.
Come on.
Kelly Sutton.
Come on.
I'm being honest.
I love you. I love you. I'm so happy, and I cannot wait to get my hands on the EP, or as you like to call it, the half record.
Call the half record. Yes, ma'am. I can't wait for you to hear it too. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you, Holler.Country, and I can't wait to see all of y'all.
I love hanging out with Hannah Dasher. Hey, I want to know, if you could have Hannah recreate one recipe, what would it be? Did your grandma have one thing that she made that you would love for Hannah to recreate? I know my grandma had like this Jell-O salad, and it was green and had walnuts. I'm going to find that recipe, and I'm going to see if Hannah can recreate it for me. Let me know below in the comments. And while you're down there, make sure you hit that bell and subscribe. That way you will be notified when we have new videos come out each and every week. Until then, make sure that you are staying connected with all the people and things you love the most. Bye.